Your Daily 180, 180 seconds of pure Bible study.
If you're like me, when you woke up this morning, I had several news alerts on my phone about a tragedy in Las Vegas. As I understand at this time, there are about 50 people who lost their lives because of a mass shooting. About a week ago, over in Middle Tennessee, someone walked into a church building, started shooting people. One lady in the parking lot died. And we ask ourselves sometimes, what are we going to do about this? And there are different solutions that people come up with. I wanted to share this with you this evening, just a brief thought about a Christian's response to the upheaval that we see in the world around us. Because you see, if you are a faithful child of God, if you have responded to the gospel and you have been obedient through faith, repentance, confession, baptism for the forgiveness of sins, and you are in fact living faithfully, you have the answer. And you say, really? I figured that Congress would have to do something or law enforcement would have to do something. And whatever's appropriate, I hope that they'll do that. But if you'll live the Christian life, you can make a real difference. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 5, beginning at verse 13, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men." Here's the point that I want you to get. When there is an absence of salt, things just don't taste as good. And that's the main point that Jesus is getting here. If it loses its flavor. If you have some beans and the beans are okay, but you add a little bit of salt and they taste so good. This world desperately needs that influence, that Christian influence penetrating all of society and making life more pleasant because they're there. We have the answer. It's called the gospel of Jesus Christ. We need to reach the young people that are growing up right now. We need to reach those young people who don't have a mom and dad, or mom or dad perhaps are in prison. And they need to know, you know something, there is a future for you. There is a hope for you. And that hope has a name, and that name is Jesus. I don't know what law enforcement should do, but I know what a faithful child of God should do. We should double down, live faithful to Jesus, and spread the gospel of Jesus Christ.